1 minute late, sorry. A bit of a reason for that, although it took a bit longer than just 1 minute, I know, but one of our dogs went missing this morning, and Anna had gone out, and I thought, well, she'd gone out to go and collect another dog, and I thought maybe she'd actually picked up the dog as it was sort of out and then just chucked it in the car and she'd bring it later. So I had to phone her because I seriously couldn't find it in the house. And the house isn't that big, don't think it's like, oh, so big. But this dog is, I don't know, she's like that. And she had disappeared. I really couldn't find her. I looked under the bed, I looked in the bathroom, I looked in the corner, I looked under a cabinet that she likes to sit under there. Couldn't find her anywhere, not in the garden, nowhere. And after about the third time of looking for her under the bed, absolutely 100% certain she's not under the bed, so I shut the door to make sure that if she was in, outside, she couldn't get in the bedroom. That would be another, look in the flipping bedroom. So anyway, I then looked at all the dog beds again, which I'd already looked at, it's obvious. But there's a cushion which is quite fluffy in the same sort of colour as her hair, and she was, I think, probably half under there or something like that. Anyway, morning all. Oh look, Pascal's there, morning from Ireland, morning Pascal. Morning, oh Jonathan says morning, hi everyone. Thanks for saying good morning. At least one would assume that you can hear me as well. My monitor's showing that you are, well, that it's certainly going like that, so it should be all right. Well, we've got a few things to go through. I'll be looking over here at my notes, not least of which is the fire in Tenerife. So if anyone hasn't heard about the fire, there is a massive, morning Evie. Evie says good morning. There's a massive fire here in Tenerife at the moment. And when I say massive, we'll go into how massive it is in a minute. We will also be looking at a bit of IT. So that's IT is, I don't know what it is. What is IT? Anyway, computer stuff, but it's not really computer stuff. The website, our website, and also a couple of new properties that we've had recently taken on. Obviously, a quick look at our weather, how it has been and what it's due to be, and what else? There's one other thing, and I haven't written it down there. And if it comes to mind, then oh yeah, and what else we did during the what Anna and I did during the month. So this is going to be our little video of the morning. As I walk in the morning, I do a little video, and Thelma says good morning. Oh, Mum says she's a bit late as well. Well, you weren't the only one, Mum. So let's just have a quick look. I went into the church square, as I very often do, and do a little video. So there's the video from today. It's a bit hazy, and I'm wondering if it's because of the smoke. So you can see there. In fact, the sun was just, well, you can see where the sun was there, but very, very hazy. So I wonder if it's the smoke from the fires. You can sort of see at the background there. In fact, I took a photograph. I put it on Facebook yesterday. Let me have a look. This might go a little bit funny. Let's see if I can make this work. Library here. How hazy it was yesterday. Here's a photograph that I took yesterday. Is that not going to work? It's not going to work. I know why. Bear with me a sec. Shut down there. Bring that up there, and then we'll see. Well, we're going to see. Gee, now look, I've totally flipping ruined it now. Here we go. Totally ruined it. No, not to worry. Okay. Well, I took a photograph yesterday, and it was very, very hazy over our way. So, what is happening with the fire here in Tenerife? I've got a few things here already set up. We've got a few videos to look at. I can show you where the fire's taking place. So here we are on Google Maps, just here. This is, let me just line this up here. So here we are, Tenerife. And then this little love heart here is actually us. But in fact, they've even put it on here. This is not me writing this. This is Google have put this on here. So this is the area here of the fire. So we are all the way down here. There's Los Cristianos, Las Americas, La Caleta, things like this. And then Santa Cruz is all the way up here. So I'm going to see that. And then this is where the fire is. So there's plenty of little villages around these sort of areas here. You've got Arafo. Let's just zoom in here. And we'll see all these little villages here. And there have been, I've got a number here, so bear with me a second, 4,000, it says as of this morning, I looked up on one of the more reputable sites, Spanish websites, and it says 4,509 residents have been evacuated from their villages. So all of these villages around here, 4,500. Now what's happened is that there's a lot of places all around in these areas here. So Santa Ursula here, we've got El Sausal, I think Tacoronte has been affected as well. Valle de Guerra, that's been affected there as well. So a lot of these areas here have been evacuated just in case. These are larger cities, El Sausal and places like that. They're not cities, but larger towns. So fair enough away from the fire itself, but it's called Arafo, that mountain area there, and there's a little village area of Arafo as well. So there's a good chance that loads and loads of people right up here at the base of the mountains here have been evacuated. A, because of the fire, but also the smoke as well. We live, here we are, look, where's Arona? Let's go here. Here's Arona, here, look. So we live here, and there's the fire. And yesterday morning and this morning, we could smell the smoke. So that's drifting down there, that far. That's near enough. I won't say the whole length of the island, because the island's right up there, but it's a good over half the island there, blowing the old smoke down. It says here, from this report I read this morning, 5,000 hectares of woodland and that sort of has been, 5,000 hectares has been burnt. Now, just to put that into some sort of perspective, I looked up, I used to live near Brighton in East Sussex, so I looked up how many hectares Brighton was, and Brighton's 8,000 hectares. So you can imagine 5,000, nearly, well, over half of Brighton has burnt in the amount of the size there that, who's this here? Oh, information technology, thanks Pascal, that was what IT stood for. John and Sheila just arrived, hi guys, morning. So yeah, over half of Brighton, the size of Brighton's burnt. Let's have a quick look, if no one's seen any of this here, let's play this. There you go, thousands of people. Oh, that's the other thing, of course. The weather hasn't been very good for it either. We've had, look at that, listen. 250 firefighters. I'll go through in a minute. Worst blaze in 40 years. So what it's saying there is very true. This is what we've heard as well. We've got another heat wave coming. We've had a heat wave for 10 days before this fire that started on Tuesday. We supposedly got another heat wave, so I wonder if, you know, when I show you the Church Square weather there, whether or not that's like the heat wave starting again, or is it the smoke coming down? I'm not too sure. And we had 40 centigrade where we live. That's at 9:30 in the morning. So very, very hot weather. And then it says there that this fire is the worst fire in 40 years. Let's have a look here at some of these poor people that are living up in... Damping down all the thing, isn't it? All that sort of thing, so just not good at all, is it? So, not good at all. As I said, we've got the smoke coming down to us as well. We've had the weather, which has been absolutely terrible for this. And they said that this is the worst fire they've had for 40 years. Well, the thing is, I read an article that they were talking about the meteorology, the weather, the conditions are perfect for a fire. Obviously, absolutely no good for these guys trying to fight it and running away from it, but it's perfect for a fire. They've got the wind, they've got the hot weather, and something was happening in the clouds. It was in Spanish, so I mean, when we get technical like that sort of thing, I'm not very good at that, but you know, they were saying that the way that the wind was moving, it was just perfect for it. So as we said, the fire has, well, it says it progressed all day yesterday, and last night it has slowed down. So maybe, I'm not saying they've got it under control. There's no way anyone's saying they've got it under control. but it's behaved unusually for the last 2 days, which would have been Thursday or Friday. So anyway, it looks like it's slightly calming down. It says here, because Anna was saying that she read an article where, because the barranco is a ravine, so it's like that, and because the fire is in the ravines now, the aeroplanes can't go in, maybe the helicopters can, I'm not too sure, but the aeroplanes can't go in, the firefighters certainly can't go in, because that's really, really dangerous. It's bad enough walking in a ravine anyway. So so it's very, very complicated because of the geography of the way it is anyway out there. And there's a pipe that's been, to help them out, they're using some water and things like that from the, they call them canals, which are, you've probably seen them on the mountains. You know, you get the mountains and you see these sort of white lines. They look like roads from miles away, but they're canals, so they're water canals. And even one of them's ruptured as well, so they were using them to help them. So the authorities have urged residents to rationalise their water use. Well, of course, it's very rare for us to actually drink the water anyway, but they're asking residents not to water gardens, not to fill the swimming pools and things like that, just to leave as much water as possible. There's over 200 there's a military emergency unit which they brought over here from mainland, so 200 of them here. There's 205 soldiers as well. They've got an A400, don't know, someone will let me know what that is. Obviously a Kamov helicopter as well is coming. Now this has got a 4,500 litre capacity, and that's expected to be coming over on Saturday. So I mean, these are these things that are taking these great big buckets of water and then chucking it on there. And there's also the possible addition of another 15 air assets, including 3 seaplanes. Now the seaplanes are flying around, you see them flying around on the news and things like that. The Spanish Defence Minister's offered more support and more solidarity from mainland, because of course we are Spanish, so of course a lot of people think that we're just a different country, but we're not. And it says there that troops will provide service as long as possible. And the Red Cross are organising, I think there are 3, certainly 3 mentioned anyway, where they're using the pavilions, like the sports centres and things like that, for people to go and stay there if they're without houses and things like this. So Red Cross are doing whatever they can. The government's doing whatever they can. Spanish and Canarian government as well are doing whatever they can. But hopefully they will get this under control as soon as possible. Obviously, I'm just preparing the next thing. Obviously, we're hoping that everyone will get this under control pretty damn quick, because it's pretty awful for them out there anyway. Awful. So I do feel for these guys. I mean, we in the south are going to be okay. I'm absolutely certain. I mean, I've just been that map, but there's a long way for the fire to come down to the south, so we're okay. If you're thinking of coming on holiday, there's no problems at all. Come on holiday. No tourists are in any danger whatsoever. I mean, it's going to be very sad if people's houses get burnt, of course, but I mean, there's plenty of warning. People are coming down and being evacuated, so they're doing what they can, obviously. And I've not read of any injuries from anyone. The firefighters are up there as well, obviously. I mean, can you imagine working up there? First of all, in a fire. Secondly, in like 40 centigrade heat. Can you imagine what it must be like for them in there? Because they're not going to have their faces open. They're going to be in these flipping great big suits as well. So, well, good for them as well. I mean, geez. Well, anyway, that's enough of that, I think. Has anyone else come online? Kaylee says good morning. Hi, Kaylee. And Tony says, morning, Simon. Thanks for the updates. Keep them coming. So, good. Thank you very much for coming on and watching. Now then. So, our bit of IT, and thank you, Pascal, that is information technology. Although it's not really, I suppose I should never have said IT. All it was, it's taken us about 2 months to get it sorted out. But we have a new website. Tenerife Property Group have a new website, and here it is. It's totally different from the old website. We've got much more modern much more modern updates. Just looks a whole lot nicer. We've got the slidey thing here, so you can slide the pictures across. In fact, you can even, obviously you click on there, but something that I noticed the other day, it's not on this, it must be just on the mobile one. So you click on here anyway, then you've got all of the photographs of the property there, and then description, got the video, and then all the information down there. Oh, that's because I'm logged in. And then you've got a form there if anyone's interested in that particular property. So I'm really pleased with it. Myself and Agatha have been working on that pretty much non-stop for, well, certainly last week we were finishing it off and working really hard in getting that sorted out. So yeah, really pleased with that. A couple of new properties while we're on this website, a couple of new properties have come online. So we've got a one-bedroom in Edificio Royal. This is the building, if you know Los Cristianos, the bus station, opposite the bus station. There's a great big greyish modern building where all the banks are, the lawyers are all there and things like that. Well, on top of all that lot, there's apartment complexes. So that's one there that's just come on the market. So one bedroom, have a quick look at that. So it looks nice and modern anyway. So that's that. And then, there we are. So it's a 53 metre squared, so it's good size. It's got a bit of a balcony outside as well. We've also just taken on one in Port Royal as well, so 197,000. Quick look at that one. It looks quite original inside there. But again, Port Royal is a really, really popular complex in Los Cristianos. And there was one more I was going to have a quick look at. Can't remember exactly which one it was now. Too late. Gone. I probably deleted it, probably binned it already. So so that's our news there about the website. Yeah, that was a lot of hard work actually. So there are some things on there that maybe are not working properly. If you do go on the website and have a look and find something that's not working, please email me, message me, or do whatever you can, because yeah, there's a lot of work gone into it, but of course there's still things that might be needing to be done. So so that's that. What else have we got here? Just went through all my notes there again of that forest fire. If you haven't, if you've only just joined us, I've been through. So watch the video a bit later on when we finish. We'll finish in about 5 minutes. You can re-watch the video, and then you'll get all the latest updates on the fire that's been happening here in Tenerife. Oh, that's a bit interesting actually. Talking about the fire in Tenerife. Now I don't know if this is going to happen, but I think I'll be allowed to say it. I don't see why I shouldn't be allowed to say it. Yeah, I'll probably be allowed to say it. Yesterday I was texted by, I'm imagining a researcher from Sky News. And they said, oh Simon, would you be interested in coming on Sky News for 5 minutes, I suppose. 5 minutes, that can't be much, can it? You wouldn't want to hear me waffling on. They've only got to watch one of my videos to see how we wouldn't want to be waffling on there. So anyway, 5 minutes on Sky News. So maybe if you get Sky News, you might see me on there. It'd be quite funny if it happens, because, well, it'd just be quite funny, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be funny if that happened? We'll have to see. They had a breaking news yesterday. She said, oh, I can't do it now. She said there's breaking news. So I said, all right, give us a shout tomorrow. Then if you want to do it tomorrow, I'll do it after this. I've not heard anything so far. Oh, my phone's up there on the camera. Oh, and the last thing is, what did Anna and I get up to? Oh no, we've got the market report coming up as well. So just after this, I've just seen there, I'm totally... Do you know, I'd lost all my notes, so I had to redo all of my notes this morning, so there's another reason I was 1 minute late. God, it's so stressful this morning, honestly. But no, I'm going to do the market snapshot report for you guys as well, so we'll have that any second now as well. Just seeing that all lined up, ready to rock and roll. Anna and I went to the beach. Now, I am as white or as brown as a sheet, and yeah, I'm not too good in the sun. I don't know why I live in Tenerife. I do know why I live in Tenerife. It's a great place to live. You can't moan about it at all. But yeah, I got sunburnt. I didn't like putting cream on. I don't know if any of you get my newsletter. I do a monthly newsletter, and I don't tend to like putting cream on my body. It's all, so I got sunburnt. I didn't lie in the sun. I kept a shirt on and I kept my shorts on, and I just lied under a parasol and just lied there. And I quite enjoy lying there, but the sun does get through. And all right, don't tell me. I know there'll be all the comments. You should put cream on. I know. Anyway, because of the sunburn, I ended up putting loads of cream on the following week. So, yeah, madness, I know, but there we are. That's me. Right, market report for July 2023. We'll go through that now. So, we've got the latest figures for comparison for June 2023, July 2023, and also July 2022 to July 2023. So we can have a look at, see what the figures are, let's get you on the screen there, see how the figures are for there. Can you see that okay? Yeah, everyone can see that all right. Okay. So This is year on year. So July 2022 to July 2023. Then we can see the area of Verona there, 17.1% increase over a 12-month period, 20% increase for just Los Cristianos over a 12-month period, 33% for the whole area of Costa d'Eje, and then you've got 25.5% increase there for the, where's my blooming thing gone? I can't think, but where's my bloody, oh, here we are. Lost my pointer there. Right. And then you've got a 25.5% increase for Costa d'Eje. Get rid of that. So month on month change. So this is June 2023 to July 2023. You can see them there. And then the percentage change. So this is month on month. So now, you probably won't be remembering this, but I do remember it because it was quite, I'm not saying shocking, because hardly shocking, but I just noticed that we've got another decrease here in Los Cristianos, and I remember last month I think it said minus 0.1, so it's not prices are falling, but you know, I'm just wondering whether Los Cristianos is starting to level out a bit or something like that in prices. So for certain, asking prices in the last 2 months have not increased. I'm pretty sure, if I remember rightly, I could look it up, but I'm pretty certain property prices were around the minus 0.01% last month. So much the same there, and slight increase there for the whole of Adeje, and the 2% and 2% increases for Verona and Costa d'Eje, which I think is has been about average. 64 properties for sale in the whole of Tenerife, and that's broken down to 1,500 in the whole municipality, Verona, with an average asking price of 3,250 euros per metre squared there. So that's in the whole of Verona. Then we can break that Verona down to Los Cristianos. So we've got 1,507 properties, or that were for sale at the end of July in the area of Verona, with 406 of those properties being in Los Cristianos themselves, and the price asking price there of 4,128 euros for Los Cristianos. So and then we go to Adeje, so this is the whole municipality of Adeje, so we've got the 9,364, that's still the same. Properties for sale in the whole of Tenerife, and out of that, there's 1,834 properties for sale in Adeje, again at the end of July 2023, with the average asking price of 4,476 euros per metre squared. So that's for July 2023. Then breaking that down into Las Americas, so 1,834 properties for sale in Adeje itself. Don't forget, Las Americas is broken up into half of Los Cristianos, which will be covered under the Verona side, and half for Adeje, which is Las Americas Adeje, which is that other side there. So 155 properties for sale in Las Americas, so it says there, with an average asking price of just under 5,400 euros per metre squared. And Costa d'Eje, which is, as I always say, just a long line of the whole of the coast of Adeje there, going right up to Playa Paraíso, right from half of Las Americas, I've just described there. So that's the coast of Adeje, Costa d'Eje. 1,834 properties for sale in Adeje, which we've already discussed there. 1,097 on the whole Costa for sale, with an average asking price there of 5,149 euros. There for asking price. So that's the market report there for the end of July 2023. If any of you have any questions, pop them in the old chat there if you'd like to. As I said, if anyone's concerned, or anyone has any friends here on holiday, anyone has any friends coming on holiday, or if you're coming on holiday, there'll be no, at the moment, as it is today, there'll be no cancellations, there's no danger for anyone or anything like that. Probably standard delays at the airport, your end or this end, it's just standard sort of stuff. But from what I've heard, no concerns whatsoever for the normal folks. People living up there obviously not so much in danger, but just certainly being evacuated to make it safe for them. And as I say, I mean, the smoke up there must be awful. I mean, we can smell it where we live, and that I showed you earlier, we're like miles or kilometres down the south, but we can smell it. So what it's like up there must be awful, and I'm absolutely certain, 100% certain, that there will be no firefighters, no military people watching this, Spanish I'm talking about, watching this video. But you know, thank you very much guys for everything you're doing, because it's just flipping awful. absolutely awful for everyone. Right, so John says, Simon, where I go and find some housing data for the north? Property portals, John, that's all you can really say. John, I think, just give us a thumbs up, but I think you are the couple living in France, aren't you? Pretty sure. And Mike says, stay safe out there. Thank you, Mike. Everyone have a great month. I'm going to see you in 1 month's time. Well, we'll certainly have an update on that. Keep an eye on my YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you are. I'll give you updates on there as well if we have any. So, yeah, well, thank you everyone for watching. We've been live now for 26 minutes. It's nearly 11 o'clock, so I will be